What is happy? Is it the car you drive? Is it the clothes you wear?
I really feel like I lost myself out here. I don't have a career. I don't have savings.
Is happiness starting a family with the one you love?
We have literally been in a relationship for a year.
I thought we were just having a good time.
Some of you have found your happy, but me? Happy birthday! I'm still searching for mine.
Finding Happy premieres Saturday, September 24th, 8/7 Central, only on Bounce.
What's that all about?
You probably seen me go viral on the internet.
Oh, that was you!
If Princess Charles can have her own radio show for having all these followers and being famous, then guess what? So can I.
You might be on to something with that.
I know him.
I asked you to do one thing. You have to find a way to make it about Yas.
Hey, Jamila, I'll be there before it starts, okay?
He's supposed to be the DJ.
Welcome, J-Brain! My debut, come on, Gigi!
Finding Happy, all new episode, Saturday, 8/7 Central. Catch up on every episode on the Brown Sugar app.
I listened to your message.
Babe.
Getting my CDL license isn't a little thing, okay? It's big.
Babe, I understand that. But I want you to be a part of the stuff that's important to me, too.
But what you want can't overshadow what I'm trying to do.
So you would rather another man just come and pick up the slack?
Slack?
Slack. Girl, what you talking about? Hey, that's the kind of stuff I like to see. I hope y'all whistles is wet after that because it's Finding Happy Day, y'all. It's Finding Happy Day. It's time for episode 4. You know what I'm saying? Featuring your boy. I'm finally on deck. I made it. I got a special treat for y'all today. We're going to keep this thing going. I hope y'all been enjoying it. I've been seeing your posts. I've been seeing your likes. You all are enjoying the show. It's the #1 show on Bounce TV right now. So that means a lot of y'all are enjoying and having a good time. What's going on, Francesca? Come on in. How you doing? Thanks for joining. If you're on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, share. Same thing for Facebook. That means you're probably already my friend, so that's already good. So yeah, man, I got a special treat for y'all. Last week, I had Kendra Joe, the showrunner, writer. She had dropped so many jewels on us, showed us some love. Before that, we had Taylor Reed, one of the stars of the show, to join us. So we keeping it going even better today. I got the director of episode 4 through 6 to join me today. This is her coming out party as well. So without further ado, I got Miss Camille Brown here today with me. How you doing, Miss Camille?
Hi, thank you for having me, Essex.
No problem. Thank you for doing this. And just to share with y'all a little bit. So she's on the West Coast right now. I thought maybe she was on the East Coast. So we almost missed each other, but we came to do it. And we got it going today. So thank you very much for your time. You cut your errand short for me, so I know how that is.
That's okay. I'm getting all ready for today, later on today. But I was like, I'll just come here, come do that, and then I'll go back out.
Absolutely. And I know when we get towards the end, you're going to put all your social media out there because you're doing a watch party today, correct?
I am doing a watch party in a few hours. That's what I'm getting ready for. Yeah.
I love it. So everybody got to get their snacks ready. You got to get them wings ordered, get your drinks on ice. And yeah, so that's all good. So before we start talking about Finding Happy, we gotta learn a little bit more about you. Like, how did Camille Brown get here? Like, what was your story? What was your path like to being here? To one of the directors of one of the biggest shows out right now.
It's a very, very long story, the long path, but very
you
grateful
got time
to be here. Well, I went to UCLA. I studied biochemistry, then decided to go to film school.
So you smart. You one of them smart girls, huh?
Well, and wanted to pursue filmmaking and just worked at every job, every level in production, every department, and then just worked my way up and then decided, there really isn't a path to become a director. So I said, let me make my feature. I did a short film. I did a few short films and it won at festivals and everything. I went through the AFI directing workshop for women. And then I won the NBC festival and I got a pilot deal from that. And then I really wanted to direct like longer length. And only way I could do that if I directed my own feature. So I raised money and I used my own money to shoot my first feature, my little indie feature, The Nth Ward, on Amazon. And then
what's the name? Go ahead and plug it. What's the name?
Oh, The Nth Ward. It's
The
about
Nth Ward.
why the Ninth Ward hasn't been rebuilt after all these years.
Oh,
It's like
wow.
a little indie thriller drama. But I always wanted to do television as well, and I just could not figure out how to crack that nut. I had sold a pilot, but they still weren't going to let me direct it. So I was like, how do I get into directing? And then I directed another feature called A Christmas Winter Song, starring Ashanti and Stan Shaw. You can catch that on it was rated #1 on Lifetime. It did better than every Christmas movie that year. It's a beautiful movie. And then I got this wonderful opportunity from Kendra. My good friend Morinike called me saying, hey, I'm going to introduce you to Kendra. And then Kendra called me up and said, hey, would you be interested in working with us? And I would love to. She's like, I'll send you the script. Read the script, loved it. I said, absolutely, I want to do it. And she's like, great. She said, you were approved by the network, so come on down to Atlanta. Like, I jumped on the next flight, went down to Atlanta, and then started prepping for my episodes.
Oh my God, that's amazing. That's amazing. I got to back up a little bit. So, okay, you started out biochemistry.
Yes.
And I noticed with creatives, this happens so much. We start down one path. For example, I was a physical therapy major when I went to school. I wound up graduating with a healthcare management. Obviously, I'm nowhere near that. But there's always something that shifts you to where you start getting to this path of passion. So I'm wondering what kind of shifted you to, or was it always there and you kind of just, maybe the parents wanted you to get a real degree or something like that? What shifted you towards this creative side?
I think I always had a love of television and movies. My mom would always say, like, record this movie and sit down with me, watch Sunset Boulevard with her, and Maltese Falcon, one of my favorite movies. And so my mom loved television and film. And then I never thought that was like an occupation. Like, I honestly didn't know. My whole schooling, I was science, right? Science and math. And I didn't know you could make movies for a living or create. I didn't think about that until I went to UCLA and I lived in Westwood, and I'd sneak into all the movie premieres. And then I was like, wait, man, this is like a job people can actually do. So I audited a class at UCLA Film School, and I was like, oh my gosh, I would love to do this. But obviously I finished all my courses to go to medical school just in case. And then I applied to film school and I got in. And I just loved it. I was like, how? And I just wanted to like learn as much as I could and like the craft of it. Because I loved watching it, but I didn't understand like how they were actually made. So so learning all of that was a great experience, and I just loved it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And did you find that your family was fully supportive of it? Were they all cool and gung ho on you?
Oh yeah. They loved it. Yeah. Yeah, they really enjoy it. They, because they're very creative too, even though they're also math and science. My sister is a professor, has her PhD in math, and my other sister has a master's in finance. So super smart, and but they're both very, very creative as well. So they write, they do art. So our family was just both, left and right brain.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So, okay. So you wind up going to school, you start doing your own projects, and then you get led to this opportunity with Finding Happy. Talk to me as a director and educate my viewers here. What is the process when a director gets brought onto a project like this? What is your, how do you start your preparations, and what is the full scope of your experience with Finding Happy as far as the hands-on things that you had to do to get ready for this?
I guess, talking with Kendra, she was one of the co-creators, and she just had she knew exactly what she wanted. So understanding like what she wanted, the tone of the show. So trying to really get a feel for that. So that's how I really prepared for it. And she told me some references. I'm like, okay, got it. So I did research, and I, watched the references she wanted me to look at. And then I just started, planning out how I was going to, make her vision really come alive. So she had sent me some of the casting options, and so when they were all great, I was like, wow, what a great cast, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, and that's how pretty much it's like going from the casting, the tone, the research of the references that she wanted, and then really figuring out how to bring that to life.
Okay. So did you have input on casting as well? Because I know sometimes the director doesn't have input. Sometimes it's the producer or the showrunner that does the casting, or that will maybe run it by. Did you have any input in that as well?
No, because by the time I was hired, I think they had a lot of the cast in place, but she did let me be a part of, she just showed me their auditions and everything. So I thought that was very, very nice and welcoming, and made me feel really part of the team.
Yeah. Did that help you get a feel for like how you wanted to shoot
Oh,
them
for
or work with
sure.
them?
Yeah, for sure. Because when they were auditioning, like as I read the scripts, like to see how they, you know, played the role was super helpful in me. It's like, okay, I know now who this cast is, because it's the first season, so none of these characters were established, right? So
Yeah.
it was super helpful watching the audition, so I know the tone and how it was going to be delivered as well. So that certainly helped me prep for my episodes. And then I was able to come on set and watch Honesty, who shot the pilot, and she was awesome. She set the tone as well. So I came and was at the last few days of her episode, her block. So I was able to also get the feel of the actors and the mood and the tone of the show as well.
Awesome. Awesome. So I think that was the order. It was Honesty, then you, and then Kendra did toward the back end. Is that right?
Jackie, Jay
Okay.
Stone, and then Kendra. Mm-hmm.
Okay, gotcha. What was that like? And I don't know if this is your first time or anything, but like pretty much from executive on down, all people of color, all Black people. Was that your first time doing something like this, or is it? How was that for you?
That was actually it was amazing. Actually, it was so nice to see. Well, women too, because all women.
Yeah.
It was nice to work with women, and you know, obviously there are men too, but like all the higher ups were women. It was a great experience. You know, I come from a feature background because I was also a producer. I did Chronicles of Riddick and A Perfect Getaway. So I come from like a huge studio background. So yeah, there aren't a lot of women or people of color in like the background I came from. But so it was just lovely just to be around people like you. So it was very nice.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. And talking to Taylor and some of the other cast, like we really felt like the set was very welcoming and very conducive to creatives, particularly when you have a lot of people of color. Because, you know, let's be real, sometimes we could be, you know, it can be a problem sometimes when things aren't running smoothly, but that was no problem at all.
No, we had it. I think,
and for some of the people that I talked to, was that your experience as well?
Yeah, I thought it was a good team. We all were great collaborators. We worked well together. I think there was it was easy. There was a fluidity to it too, you know? And I felt even between the directors, like, you know, Honesty was there for me, tag team, and then we transitioned to the next. So we were all covering and helping each other. It was actually a beautiful experience.
Awesome.
Very beautiful, yeah.
Absolutely.
We weren't competing. We weren't competing. We were helping each other. You know, that's something different. You know, it wasn't crabs in a barrel. We were all helping to lift each other up. And, you know, Kendra created this great environment for everyone. She was very open. You can come talk to her. You can, you know, have suggestions, and she listened. You know, it's a great collaborative environment.
That's awesome. That's amazing. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, I can see your comments. If you have questions, go ahead and shoot them in. Definitely a very interactive experience, so don't be shy out there. Let's get into the episodes a little bit. You know, we're not going to spoil nothing. No. We're not going to spoil nothing. We're not going to spoil nothing, but so far, and I wanted to ask you.
You said slacking. I was like, oh, Mike Merrill.
Mike Merrill's a trip, ain't he? Mike is a trip. Mike is oozing of charisma. He's always having a good time. He's always cracking jokes. That scene is with him, by the way, so you guys can know when to look for it. If you don't know Mike Merrill been on all kinds of stuff. He's all Black. He's got the Black Hamptons. He's doing his thing. So yeah, slacking. When he said that, it's kind of, and they cut it off. And like, I know that people gonna be like, how did the rest of that conversation go? Right?
Yeah. Slacking.
Slacking. Like, who are you talking to? But yeah, so I asked Kendra this. I want to ask you this as well. Who in the show is most like Camille?
Most like Camille.
Yeah.
Maybe. You know what? I'm a little bit of all of them, which is interesting.
Okay.
Even like Aunt Joe, I was thinking, you know, I'm a hypochondriac. I like to eat food. You know, I always think I have aches and pains. So I went running this morning and I was like, oh, my side hurts. Oh my gosh, I think I have appendicitis. You know, so it's like I have all, so I could be Aunt Joe. I could be Marilyn. I could be, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a combination, maybe between Jamila.
Okay.
Joe. Yeah.
Okay. That makes some sense. That makes sense.
I think it's like a combination because, you know, because Jamila's, you know, her grand opening and she wants everything. I can see I'm very much like her, very particular, wanting everything to run perfectly. And
very
then
ambitious.
when things don't happen, yeah, then you go like, what? You know, and yeah, I can see myself a little bit in that. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what has been, as far as the stories that are being told, what do you think what do you hope people get most out of this show? Is there any certain thing that you want them to understand or get a feel from or be exposed from by watching this show? Besides just being entertained?
Well, I think everyone's on their path of trying to find happy and to like, I think the show is very relatable and all the characters, even like, you know, like Angela Marilyn and Jamila and Yaz. I think what does it mean to find happy?
Yeah.
I think it's different for everyone. I think it changes. It's not always the same. So I think when you watch this, I think it makes you think and try to identify what happiness is and what it means and what that pursuit is really, right?
Absolutely. For me, is that, but also finding it while trying to manage these relationships. You know what I mean? Because like I kind of identify with Mike's character because it seems like he's going through this period where he's finding himself. He's trying to get himself established career-wise, and he's got a couple things going on. And he's got this this wonderful woman who he cares about, but it's hard when you're
their
trying
dreams. They both are doing their dreams, right?
Big
it's like
dreams, and how do you support each other through
yes,
that?
it's kind of hard to support each other and pursue your dream because you want to help the other person, but you don't want to also give up part of your dreams. So it's just, you know, see, also I relate to that too. It's all very relatable. That's why it's such a great show.
Absolutely. And I made it a point to talk about this because sometimes promotion things can get lost in translation, or you see 4 Black women, you think, oh, it's just all about 4 Black women, but it is, but it's not, because they're telling these other stories like this with Mike and with Taylor, and how all these relationships weave together, as you said, while people are trying to find happiness, find themselves, who's, you know, the different pressures that are coming from the moms and the different
societal pressures. It's not even coming from just the moms, it's society, right? It's like on the first episode, the one girl said, I was your best friend from kindergarten. You know, it's a judgment, like everyone's judging you, right? So it's like, how do you escape those pressures of society and others and stuff like that? It's hard because
especially when the mom, you know, mom's like, where the grandbabies, where your husband, you know, stuff like that. Does that I don't know if you're married or kids or anything, but is that something
career? Like, why aren't you where are you supposed to be? Like, why are you like not driving the car you supposed to be driving? It's everything, right?
Eggs dried up. Yeah, like everything is on the table.
The bar keeps constantly moving too. It's like, okay, I went to school, I went to college, went to a great college. Oh, that's not good. Okay, you got to keep on going. And it's challenging.
Absolutely.
So that's why I think this show is very, very relatable.
Awesome. And so as a director, as with the episodes that you directed, and I know you said it's not a competition, but is there a part in when you're directing where you're putting your own type of spin on it, where we might actually see, Camille style of shooting versus Honesty or Jackie or Kendra? Do you ever have that? Is that a part of what you did in your preparation or no?
Well, I try, the thing is you want there to be a constant kind of like a through line. So like, it doesn't look so different because we're trying to accomplish the tone of the show.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all have our unique perspectives on how we direct. I like funny things because I like comedy. So I think episode 4, Cedric Cooper is hilarious. He plays Brandon. I don't know. I just tonally I like comedies, like real like funny stuff. So I think I was able to, the writing is great. So it was in the writing. It's just me visually translating those words. So yeah, I of course I laugh a lot. And then there's episode 6, there's a lot of sadness. There's some parts that you feel, even though there's a lot of comedy, but there was, Angela Gibbs did such a great job in this one scene. I don't want to ruin it, but it's sad, but but it's, but you feel for her. It's a great scene too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like comedy and drama, but yeah. So see episode 4, it just makes me laugh. There's so many parts. B. Simone is hilarious. They're all funny. And Kim Coles is hilarious. It's just a great episode.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I will say this: when I was on the set, and we were in the trailer for a little while. We got to do the whole COVID thing, and I thought maybe I was going to be waiting a little while before I shot my scene, but then they called me early. I was like, oh boy, and I was even though I've done this a bunch of times, it's like you still get a little nervous or whatever, and I think. So I'm wondering, like, do you guys pick up on that stuff when actors are kind of like, we're getting into our character, we're getting our zone? Do y'all pick up on what it's like we're nervous or ready to go or anything like that? Or is it just you're focusing on everything else that's going on?
Well, I came to introduce myself to you. No, I didn't know. I didn't pick up. No. So many things are going through my head anyway. Because I'm trying
I know. You can't possibly do it.
And I just love when the actors come prepared. I'm like, your lines, got it. You ready? Go here, great. So, there's a lot of like moving parts. So
it is.
Yeah. So no, I didn't know. I didn't pick up on that. I think you were great. I didn't notice that you were nervous.
I was holding it on the side. Oh,
okay. Well, you delivered. So
thank you. But no, it was just. Like you say, it's a lot going on. You're prepared, but there's nothing like when you actually step into the space and you're trying to get used to the space and get into the energy and all of that. And then sometimes when that camera flips around and now you're getting your coverage, you know what I mean? It's like now
I understand.
You feel this external pressure.
I don't know how actors do it. Like as soon as I get I am not good. I'm not an actor.
You never been in front of the camera?
Even in interviews, I don't enjoy it. So I don't know how actors can, I applaud people who can become vulnerable, who can do that craft because I am not that person. I really, I really hats off. I was like, I can't do that.
Yeah. And you guys were moving at such a efficient, I won't say it's fast, but it was an efficient pace to where it's like you didn't want to be the reason that anything fell behind. Like I say, I got called to set very early, and then I think it felt like I was there 20 minutes, but the whole time it might have taken maybe an hour, maybe hour 15. It's hard to remember, but it felt so fast, and then before you know it, the day was over, and I was like,
"You're like, oh no, I want to stay longer."
Yeah, you want to stay longer? And you're like, did I miss something? Like,
well, we got you.
It goes so fast, man. So I always wonder, like, okay, from your perspective, how does that whole thing look when you're the director? So yeah, and then
I just go in there. You have a limited time, so I just say, how am I gonna make my day and get these shots and make it look good and get good performances. So that's where my mind is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's see. So okay, you get on the 4 through 6. So that you're kind of like the middle arc of the story, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm trying to ask a question without giving anything away.
What do we learn in this episode?
Yeah, what I guess what shifts, because you know, in the middle act, there's always something where the conflict takes on a different tone, right? Like there's some stakes that are being
there's some reveals.
there's some things
Reveal it. There's some you have to watch 4 to 6. But 6 is where I think a lot of the pin drops, and there's going to be a shift of I think, yeah.
That's all.
You're going to find out some important information.
Some very important information.
Very important information, yes.
About?
I can't tell you. You'll find out. It's a very, with one of the female characters. I won't tell you which one.
Okay. All right, great. Well, you already know I'm going to be watching. I'm sure everybody that's on here is going to be watching. Like I say, every time I do this, people have so many good things to say. Obviously, the ratings are there. Like I say, the first week it was 2.6. I don't know. I haven't checked it since then, but people are responding very, very well. Has this in any way changed your life? Like, how has the reception been from your end?
No, I'm just very excited. I'm so excited that Bounce is truly behind this show. It really is a great show, and it's such a great cast, and the creators and the behind this whole project. And Kendra just wrote such a beautiful series. So I'm just happy for everyone involved. I'm just very happy that Yasmin Coleman, who the character is based, I saw her in this one, and when we were at the premiere a couple of weeks ago, she was just crying. I think she was so happy, and I was like, wow, it's beautiful to see, like, all this work and that you've done, and Kendra, it just must be just feel so happy to like see your work on screen and stuff like that. So I'm just happy for everyone. Yeah,
because I always, when I do stuff like this, I always try to let people know the journey in doing these things. People only see the end result, but
they don't know it takes years, right? It's been like blood, sweat, and tears. Like there was this one image that I'll never forget. Like it was like a ballerina, right? And you see the foot on points, and then it shows like how the toes look. They're all like, mangled and damaged. It's like how much hard work. You just see this beautiful, graceful, but all the hard work you've put into it, we don't see that. But if you took off those ballet shoes, you would see all the, the damage. So, or all the hard work, the sores, the scrapes, all that stuff. So that's how I think as artists, people don't see that. They just see like the end result. They don't see like the rejection, the hard work, the late nights, the frustration, the disappointment, just everything that comes to that point. No one really sees that struggle or that journey, whether, there's bumps along the way. There's some like, happiness, and there's easy times and there's hard times. And I think no one really gets that.
No, they don't. It's important. It's important that we highlight it, because to bring the arts cover so much and we entertain so many people, but we often don't get our just due and our flowers. So I'm giving you your flowers today. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. And for you too.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm on deck today, so I'm happy.
You are.
I'm finding some happy today. and then tomorrow, back to where's my auditions? Where's my next job?
So my sister and I always say your lines. Like we love how you deliver your lines. So we always go, I'm not going to give it away, but my sister and I, we always, like, in the middle of the day, we'll go, we just do a line and we just say, oh,
and that's one of my biggest dreams, right? I want to do a movie or a show where people start repeating my lines like I do, like something from Martin or Boomerang or something that just sticks in people's minds. So maybe this will be the one.
So no, my sister and I always say it. So
that's what's up. So okay, that leads me to another question. How much input do you have when it comes to the editing? Because I know me and Kendra talked about there was some scenes that had to get cut, and we shared a laugh because I have, that is like my biggest dread because it happened to me on a really big show, and they cut the whole thing. So were you involved in any of the editing process with what stuff got kept and what got cut?
Oh yeah. So I get my director's cut.
Okay.
I deliver that. And the thing is, like, you're challenged with, there's so much material, right?
Yeah.
It's all good. You're like, how do I keep it all?
Yeah.
But they tell you a time frame, like you have X amount of minutes.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, I'm over by 10 minutes.
Because you ain't gonna cut them advertising minutes, that's for sure.
Like, oh my gosh, I have to cut 10 minutes out.
Ooh.
Oh, those are straight lifts. It's not like snip, 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 snip on little scenes. It still won't amount to like that much. So you're like, oh, what do I lose? It's like, oh. So I think that is like the juggling act. And I don't know. So I delivered my cut. And I think, yeah, I had cut some things out and then they added some things back in. But so it's just like a pick and choose. I don't know. It was all good. So I just had to deliver something within that time frame.
Yeah.
And then, but all of it was great. You know, you do an assembly with all of it in, and then you just whittle it down to like, and then also Kendra has to go back in because she, you know, she's overseeing all of it and making sure whatever I cut out or the other directors cut out, like it's going to make sense in the next episodes, right?
Yeah, right. So
she sees the overall arc. I just see my few episodes. So I'm just trying to see what's working within that time frame. So so again, it's a team effort, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Collaborative effort, especially.
Very collaborative, yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So we're rounding third base here. I know you got plenty to do. I got couple more questions. If y'all out there, y'all listening, y'all got questions or comments, then now's the time. Any advice that you would have for creators? We're in a big boom right now of content creating. I've started to jump into that a little bit. I directed a short as well, produced a short. What advice do you have for people who are, trying to make their way in this industry and they're trying to do similar things to what you're doing? What advice would you give them?
I would say don't wait and try to ask for permission. Just do it. Like, you don't need permission to write. You need discipline and motivation. Those are kind of hard to come by, but you just have to have self-discipline and motivate yourself. So I write every single day. Oh, wow. Even during the pandemic, I was in this writing accountability group, wrote every single day for a half hour from 8 to 8:30, every single morning, Monday to Friday, for 2.5 years straight. Finished 3 scripts, got my master's, just kept working. So I think, yes, I know everyone says, oh, go make a short film, which, yes, you can easily do it on your phone, but is it going to look quality? Right. I always say writing and having material ready and just getting better at your craft. And maybe if you're not a writer and you only want to direct, then, yes, shoot some stuff, shorts, but write daily. I think it just really gets you, it works. It's a muscle, right? We don't think of it. It's like working out. If you work your arm, tricep, bicep, we exercise, right? I think writing is, you have to exercise that every day. Yeah. It's not something you can just do once in a while, because you get better and better. Because even my stuff from like a year ago or 2 years ago, I'm like, wow, I've improved. Even in like a year ago, writing every day, I've improved. And it makes it that much easier. I just sold a project to Hallmark. It just makes it that much easier to write, and especially when you have deadlines now, because when you start selling stuff, it's a whole different situation too than just like, oh, let me write something. You get like 3 weeks and 4 weeks to turn in stuff. So I think writing daily is something we should do if you're a writer. But even being creative, like even if you're not a writer, I think even like journaling every day, it just keeps you. It keeps exercising that muscle. Yeah. Keeping the imagination going. Keeping just 30 minutes. You don't even need a long time. 30 minutes. Just write something. 30 minutes every single day. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna try to do that.
Yeah, and it's you bite off small chunks. Don't make it like, oh, 2 hours, 30 minutes. Hey, this morning. So my writing accountability group, we all sat on Zoom on mute. My friend Bernard had started this group, and we were all on Zoom, and we just muted. And then sometimes every day he would give a prompt. So if you had nothing to write, he would say, if your main character was stranded, how would your main character get out of this situation? And then either you can use the prompt to just write, or you had your other writing things you were working on.
Yeah.
So those are things that you can just do. Think of prompts and just think of situations and just write them down. So just continually working on your craft.
Yeah, that's great advice, especially like when you have idle time, because sometimes idle time is really when, you start having doubts or anxieties and like wondering, when the next thing's coming. That's a great tip to kind of feel.
You never have to worry about the next thing coming, because you're like, I'm just going to write a short story, or I'm just going to work on. You don't need if you're waiting for someone else to give you an opportunity, you're waiting for permission. Like, why are you waiting? You don't need to. You can create something all on your own. Doesn't mean it's going to get produced the next week or whatever. And you don't need that. I think as an artist, like over pandemic, I just wanted to write. I didn't have any expectations after that. But you know what? What is the opportunity is luck and being prepared, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So after the pandemic, someone's like, oh, do you have any Christmas movies? I'm like, oh, I actually wrote one during the pandemic. Oh, here's one. It's just like, I had the opportunity. I was prepared, right? So be prepared as well.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You never know when the opportunity come up.
Do as a director or I guess writer as well, do you have like a literary representation, or you have agents and stuff like that? How do you?
Yeah. I have a manager.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what's next? Anything down the line you can tell us that we can look forward to seeing from Camille?
Well, yeah, I have a Hallmark movie, that I'm writing. So that will be the next thing up.
Nice.
Coming out next year. So.
Hey, Hallmark, they shoot a lot of films in Florida, Wink. So
yeah.
I got the tickets. I got the tickets now this time. But no, that's great. So Hallmark. So with that being said, tell everybody how they can follow you, they can keep up in touch with you on your path. Go ahead and get that Twitter, that IG, get all that stuff out there.
Okay, Twitter and IG, it's at the Camille Brown. And that's pretty much it. TheCamilleBrown.
And on all your platforms, right?
On all the platforms, yeah.
Okay,
and then Facebook.
Cool. And go ahead and run down those other films that you mentioned earlier again, and we can go check those out. You said you got stuff on Amazon, and you got something.
You can watch my short "Thank You for Washing" on YouTube or Amazon. You can watch "The Nth Ward" on Amazon, and you can watch "A Christmas Winter Song." I think it's on Lifetime or on demand, or you can watch on Amazon as well.
That's great.
That's with Stan Shaw and Ashanti.
Yeah, doing big things out there in LA. Camille Brown, director of episodes 4 through 6 from Finding Happy. Y'all make sure y'all get ready, get your snacks ready for episode 4 tonight, co-starring your homeboy right here. Thank you so much for your time, Camille. This has been so much fun.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. And please watch and tune in. And, you can send me a little screenshot of you guys watching Finding Happy. And I'll send you guys little videos of us watching it live tonight as well. Absolutely. You're going to be doing that live stream on Twitter? Yeah, and Instagram. Twitter and Instagram. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll definitely be joining. So, yeah, man, y'all check her out. Follow me, Actorman Essex on Instagram, Essex O'Brien on Facebook. And if you're on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. We out of here. Y'all enjoy the show tonight. Thank you. Thank you.